guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're sitting down and we are doing another Sephora haul try on. I just had a couple goodies to test out for you guys. We tried the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette again for a second look, as well as the Haus Labs Triclone foundation and their bio-blurring loose setting powder, and lastly the Milk Makeup Future Fluid All Over Cream Concealer. So not a ton of goodies here to try out today for you guys, but quite a few, and I let you guys know my honest first opinions of these products. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to see how I got this look right here with my new goodies from my Sephora sale haul, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I did go ahead and prime my eyes with my Rare Beauty Eye Primer. We are going to be using the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette again. I did go ahead and put up a review swatch first impression sort of video, and I said in that video that I was going to use this again in my Sephora sale haul try on, and quite a few of you guys in the comments said yes, please do, we want to see another look. So your wish is my command. We're going to stick with the pinks today, so we're going to play with this shade, this shade, this shade, and this shade right here. Those are the four that I'm going to be focusing on. We're going to start off with Holly right here and put it into my crease. All right, we're going to take that on a Refer 15 and just buff that into my crease. Okay, barely showed up. Let's try again. Let's do a second layer. I feel like this is barely showing up on my eye. Don't know how I feel about that. Alright, I was able to build up that Holly shade a little bit. I put like 3 layers on. It looks pretty. It's a pretty shade. It just took some building. So we are going to deepen it next with this Belle shade right here into the crease as well. And we're going to take that on a What's Up Beauty R103. And we're just going to put that right in the crease. I like the undertone in that. That's nice. Like, I don't know, mauve-y pink shade. I am feeling a little under the weather. So if I sound groggy or scratchy throat or anything, it's because I am. I have a really bad sore throat. I'm gonna go to the doctor later just to see what's going on, especially since it's like the holidays coming up, and I'm like, I don't want to make any one of my family members sick. I think I just have a little bit of a cold. I don't think it's anything too serious. Yeah, my throat is killing me right now, but that's pretty much the only symptom I have. I have a little bit of a cough, but nothing terrible, and then I'm congested, but your girl's been congested for like 3 months at this point, so I'm not blaming that on like what's going on right now. But okay, those are pretty. This got a little bit patchy. That Belle shade got a little patchy in my crease on this eye, but those two together are pretty. Did we need both? Probably not. I mean, maybe we did, because Belle is definitely a lot deeper of a shade, and Holly is just that like transition nice light pink shade. But next we're going to put glitter primer all over our lid, and I think I'm just going to put Flutter on the inner portion of the lid, and then this Flare shade on the outer portion. We're going to do a really simple eye today. I did do a green look with this palette the first time around in that like first impressions video, so if you want to see that, it will be linked below for you. So we got Flare and Flutter. I'm gonna put Flutter on the inner portion. Ooh, that's pretty. And then Flare out here. Ooh, those two look pretty. I think I like that. I'm not like the biggest fan of this Flare pink shade right here. It almost is making me look a little sick, but I think that's because I'm just so pale right now. I think once I put some foundation on, that should help a little bit. But those two together are really, really pretty. I like that. And this Flutter shade is like super sparkly and impactful on the lid, which is like the point of it. So I'm glad to see that it looks just as pretty on the lid as it does like swatched or in the pan. It's like super reflective. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. This isn't like my favorite eye look right off the bat, but again, once I put foundation on and I look a little less one-dimensional and ghostly, I think I'll look a little less sick. These like pink undertones are kind of making me look, I feel like, a little sick. I also kind of am a little sick, so maybe that's another reason why I think it's making me look sick. But I like it. I think it's pretty, but I do think I'll like it more once the rest of my makeup is done. So let's move on to the Haus Labs goodies that I picked up, because I cannot wait to try them. Off camera, I went ahead and applied some of the Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer. I have used this a million times before, so I know like what to expect. First up, we're going to try out the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I'm pretty sure in my haul video I called this the Trio Clone. It's Triclone. Okay, I've heard really good things about this foundation. Like truly, I've heard a lot of really good reviews from other YouTubers, from you guys in the comments. I am perplexed. This says it is a house tech powered with a bioferment 7 complex Intellizen. I don't really know what any of that means, but it also says something I do understand. A clean, cutting edge, long wear foundation that delivers superior makeup performance without compromising your skin. Infused with 20 skincare ingredients, it's buildable, medium coverage, luminous, I'm a little nervous about that, second skin finish, ultra fluid, weightless formula. So I don't know, man. We are going to try it out. I picked up the shade 50 Fair Cool. We'll see if that's a good shade match for me. I don't know. It does say shake well, so we're going to shake, 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 shake. I really like this packaging. I think it's cool. It's weighted. It's heavy. You probably wouldn't really want to like travel with it. Not that I travel very much, but just has a pump on it. We're going to pump out a little bit onto my hand. Ooh, it's pretty liquidy. I don't think this is going to be that good of a shade match for me, but we're going to try it out. Just going to dot it on. It says it's medium buildable, so I'm assuming I'll have to do 2 layers, which I have to do 2 layers with a lot of foundation. So if I do, that's not the end of the world to me. Little yellow on me. I feel like every foundation is yellow on me. Oh, you guys did say that the cool tones were warm and the warm tones were cool. I don't really know. The shade range on this foundation was definitely really wonky. It was really hard for me to decide a shade. I did go on the Haus Labs website and do their like shade finder, and it did match me with, I think, Fair 40, but that was out of stock on Sephora's website, so I just got like the next closest one. It's blending out fine. It's gonna be a little yellow, but what can you do? And I actually feel like my chest and neck area is more yellow than my face anyways, so when I do get a little like yellowy of a foundation, it does end up matching my neck and chest kind of good, kind of well. Is that correct grammar? I don't think it is. Okay, I definitely feel like this dried pretty quickly. Like you kind of have to move fast. But I mean, it's looking pretty decent with 1 layer. I am going to definitely build it up and put another layer on. But it doesn't look too drying right now. Like that whole like second skin-like finish, I definitely see where they're coming from with that. I don't really necessarily think it's that luminous. I did go ahead and pump out a little bit more to add this second layer. Ooh, it's definitely buildable though, which it says that, which is nice. Sometimes foundations say buildable and then they're not, and they don't build on itself well, you know, but this one seems to be doing so. So I got the foundation all blended in with 2 layers. I'm actually liking it. I feel like I like the Hourglass one a little bit more right off the bat. The second layer did add some luminosity to it. The first layer looked kind of matte on my skin, but then when I built it up with the second layer, I definitely see like that sheen and glow. I don't hate that because I do have dry skin, but also by the end of the day, I get very oily, especially in my T-zone and my chin. So hopefully maybe the powder will help. We're going to try this in a second, but it looks really pretty. It did sink right into my skin. That whole like skin-like finish, I agree with the buildability, that's a word, right? That it claims. It definitely has pretty decent coverage with 2 layers. I mean, my skin is being good right now. Definitely being good right now. I don't have a ton of like breakouts and redness right this second, so that's really nice. The only place it's looking a little dry on is my nose right here, but my nose has been dry. I have been congested, like I said, so I've been blowing my nose more often than not. Plus it's like the end of November and it's getting dry and cold outside, so I'm just naturally drying up. But like on my forehead and all that, it doesn't look too terrible. It is sinking into my pores slightly, but not anything too bad. So right off the bat, putting it on, I like it. Not my favorite foundation ever, but I do enjoy it. I am curious to see how it sets down with the powder, but before that, we're gonna go in with the Milk Makeup. This is their Future Fluid All Over Cream Concealer. I picked up the shade 4N in this. I don't know why. I have a feeling this is gonna be a little dark on me. Oh yeah, frick. I do not think that's going to really work, but we're going to give it a go. Taylor Wynn was the one that made me want to try this out. She's been really talking it up, and so has Morgan Turner. So why I got 4N, I don't know. Let's see what this looks like under the eye though. Ooh, it smells weird. Ew. I do not like that scent. That smells, I don't even know what that smells like, but not good. Yeah, this is definitely a little dark on me. Let's blend it out and see what it looks like. I feel like it's blending out a little bit lighter, so that's good. I will note that Taylor said she mainly uses this as like a foundation mixer. I don't think she uses it a ton as actual concealer. I think Morgan uses it as concealer. Okay. It's okay. It's all right. I mean, I definitely still see some blueness on my under eyes. We'll probably try to build that up, but let me put a little bit on this eye first. blend that in. It is blending in really nicely though. It's not like drying too quickly, and it doesn't look dry on my under eyes, which I definitely appreciate. I do not like when concealers look too dry on my under eyes, which quite a few of them do. And this is not looking too dry or like crusty, crepey, anything like that. So I definitely appreciate that. It looks fine. And actually this shade isn't terrible on me, especially with this foundation color. It's not like brightening, which it's not the end of the world. I do tend to like a little bit brighter of an under eye, but sometimes I can go overboard and use like too bright of a concealer and powder. So this will help me not do that. I am gonna add just a little tiny bit more, one little swiperoo right there to add extra coverage, because I do still see some blueness peeking through. I mean, I'm not sleeping well, so I'm not surprised. Being almost 6 months pregnant, yeah, you don't sleep well. Everyone says, make sure you're getting all the sleep you can while you're pregnant, because once the baby comes, you're gonna get no sleep. But then it's like, what the heck? I'm uncomfortable, I'm sore, I'm peeing 24/7, like I'm not sleeping well right now. Anyways, maybe that's getting me ready for her to come. Okay, so finish wise, I like this concealer. I like how it's looking on my under eyes. Like I said, it's not dry and crepey, anything like that. It blends in very smoothly, and it's not even like creping up in my under eye lines too terribly right now. We are gonna set it. I always set my concealers pretty much my whole face. As far as the shade, not awful, not terrible, not perfect, but that's okay, I can make it work. I just wish I had a little bit more coverage to it. I do still see a little bit of blueness peeking through. However, I can just kind of keep that in mind in the future and use a color corrector under my eyes to try to help combat those blue under eye circles. But so far it's looking really nice, and it's meshing together really nicely with that Haus Labs foundation, which is really all I can ask for. So yeah, not terrible. It is sinking in my eye lines, but every concealer does that, so I'm not worried about that. Kind of like the Haus Labs. It's not like my favorite concealer right off the bat, but it's not a bad concealer either. So let's set this face. So this is the Haus Labs. I destroyed the box when I was opening it. This is the Haus Labs Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. I did pick up the shade Translucent. This is supposed to have fermented arnica, which is really good for redness in your skin, plant squalene, and it's also talc free. I've heard really good things about this powder as well, and I've heard that the foundation and powder are like a match made in heaven, which would make sense because they're like made for each other. I don't love this type of applicator, like this meshy net that it has. Not the end of the world, but I just prefer a simple, plain, normal, quote unquote, powder component, but that's okay. Ooh, feels real silky smooth. Okay, so we're gonna set my face like I normally do. I'm just gonna get these little creases out. We're gonna take my Power Pocket Puff and we're going to put a little bit under my eyes. Okay, it definitely darkened it a little bit, which is typical. I feel like a lot of powders do that, but it looks nice and smooth. All right, then we're gonna get a little bit more, press it into my chin. It's definitely smoothing, but I do think it removes some of the coverage the foundation gave me. Let's put just it on this side and see the difference. So here's it with the powder, then without. I'm gonna mattify it, and it is smoothing. Okay, then I like to take a big fluffy brush and just kind of set the rest of my face. A little conflicted on the powder. I do like how it feels. It's very lightweight. It doesn't feel like thick and heavy on my skin. It doesn't feel too drying. I do think it makes my skin look a little bit dry, however, especially on my forehead and my nose. My nose was already looking dry, but my forehead here, like right in here, wasn't, and now it is. I do think it's a nice like mattifying, smoothing powder. I definitely see that aspect of that claim. Since the theme of this video so far is nice powder, not my favorite right off the bat, I am excited to keep testing it out, and it did like make my face feel nice and set, which I do enjoy that. It doesn't feel like too tacky, a little bit, but not anything too bad. But yeah, just a little bit drying. But I do like my base. I think it looks good right now. It's not my favorite products right off the bat, but that was all I had to try, I think. Other than this Kaja stack, which is for eyeshadow, which I already used the Natasha Denona palette. So what I'm gonna do is probably, let's do a little speed through of the rest of my makeup. I will have everything listed and linked down below. That way you can see like what other products I am using. And then we'll come back on and wrap this video up. here is the final look for you guys. Overall, I actually really like how this look turned out. I think it's pretty. I don't know if any of these products are going to become like super favorites. As far as the Natasha Denona palette, I don't love these pink undertones on me personally. I feel like they're making me look a little sick. So I do prefer so far the green tones, and I do still need to dabble in these more like neutrally tones. As far as the foundation and the powder, I like them. I like them. I like the Milk Makeup Concealer as well. I just don't know if any of these are going to become favorites. I think they look nice on my skin. My skin doesn't look too dry right now. If you can hear Pepper, he's... Hi, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah? He's the most talkative cat, I swear. But I like how my base looks. Like I said, it doesn't look too dry. It has some decent coverage. The powder was pretty blurring. So yeah, overall, I think I just need to try these, all three of these, just more. You know what I mean? Just to fully solidify my thoughts. That makes sense. This was my first time trying them, my first impressions for you guys. And I think that's all the other new things I tried. I didn't have a ton of new products to try in this Sephora haul try on, but I don't know, I just wanted to try these goodies for you guys. A couple of you guys were excited to see me try like the foundation and the concealer and stuff. So there you go, that's my first impressions of them. I will definitely keep you guys updated as I try them. I did want to try to do a wear test today and just kind of pop on at the end of the day to let you know how the foundation and concealer and powder wore. So if I remember to do that, or if I feel well enough to do that, I mean, my throat is killing me right now, I will insert that clip right now. Alrighty, it's like 7:30. I put this on around 11, so it's been what, like 8.5 hours. It looks really good. It's wearing like pretty perfectly, I'm not gonna lie. It is broken up a tiny bit on my chin here, and then right here all around my nose because I blew my nose earlier. And so, like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest. So it is like broken up there. But other than that, like on my forehead, it wore really beautifully. Everything held up really nicely. Like on top, my bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that. It kept the coverage. I'm really impressed with how this foundation and powder wore. Let's check out the concealer. A little crepey, a little like broken up. Not terrible though. All in all, I'm really impressed with how this makeup wore today. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.